right, here's a request. This is number 14 on the first handout for multi-step equations. Okay, so as we look at this question, you might say, hey, why don't I add these two fractions? And that's not a bad idea. Nothing wrong with that. Those guys are like terms or constants or fractions anyway that can be added or subtracted. We also have another guy over here with a variable on him, so we can't do much with him. And on the other side of the equation, we have a top-heavy fraction. Looks kind of ugly, whatever. Now, we don't like fractions so much to work with, and especially when we have equations, and whatever we do to one side, we can do with the other. We can play the a nice little clear the denominator type idea here. So you have to identify what the LCD is, or at least a common denominator. Okay, they really should call it the least common multiple in the denominator. You know, what's a multiple? And without getting too much into it, it's a number that everybody goes into. And a lot of times when you do these problems, you know, it's right there. So if you look at these four denominators, what number up there does it look like all these numbers go into? So yes, 30 is the best choice. So let's go ahead and write that out now. So I have 1/3 v minus 3/2 minus 5/3 is equal to negative 113 over 30. I'm going to multiply this side and this side both by 30. As whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. Okay, the right side's not so bad. Those guys are just going to cancel each other out. Okay, and we're just going to be left with negative 113 over there. This other side, however, has a bunch of work to do. We got to multiply 30 to this term, 30 to this term, and then finally 30 to this term. And I'll write out the steps the first time just so you see it all. You really get 30 over 3v minus 30 times 3 over 2 minus 30 times 5 over 3 is equal to negative 113, if you will. But this is the thing that you're kind of trying to do in your head, because you can see that this guy's going to cancel. 3 and 30 is going to go to a 10v. Minus 30 divided by 2 is 15. You have to realize 15 times 3 is 45, so that's 45. 30 divided by 3 is 10, and 10 times 5 is 50. Okay, and that's equal to negative 113. Watch out for that v, it's a sneaky one. So we just continue now, and we get 10v minus 95 is equal to negative 113. And then we just have to do our thing now, and 10v is equal to, excuse me, 1 second. We got, what are we doing here? We're going to take negative 113 and add 95. So that's a negative 18. And our answer should be v is equal to negative 18 over 10. And if you've never seen it before, you could do negative 2 times 9 over 2 times 5. These two numbers cancel. A lot of kids haven't seen that yet. And that just reduces to negative 9/5. So that should be your answer right there. So yeah, a couple things here. We wouldn't do this step here. You know, that's the step you would really skip. And the idea is to say, oh, 30 times 1/3. Well, that's 30 divided by 3, which is 10. Then 10 times 1 is 10v. And then you start again with the second. 30 divided by 2 is 15, and 15 times 3 is 45. And then you do it again. 30 divided by 3 is 10, and then 10 times 5 is 50. So that's the shortcut move that you're trying to master. And we usually skip. Okay, we skip this step, and we do it in our head. That's the idea. So that's what makes it easy. And you should know to cancel on this side, and it has to do with the multiplication rule, and you could just cancel those out. Okay, hope that helped.